Today we're going to talk about multi-layer transparencies with Polaroid film. So a few of you were asking about how Paolo did that picture in the last video I showed you, in the video I showed you of transparencies a few months ago. Transparencies is a technique that only works with Polaroid originals film, or Polaroid film, and it only works with black and white film, or the best. I think a few people managed to do it with color, but I'm not one of them. So we need black and white film, doesn't matter if it's S670, I-type or 600, all of the three work the same. And we need view images. For the pictures, you should keep in mind you are stacking multiple images over each other. So don't take the pictures too dark, and don't take them on dark backgrounds. I'm gonna put down the white backdrop here so we have a really nice cutout of the portrait. We took our three images here, they are all developing right now, and we need to wait till the pictures are finally developed. If you don't know how transparencies work, check out the video I will link in one of these corners above. But what we're gonna do here is we're gonna cut up these pictures into transparencies and then layer them over each other. What's really helpful for the technique is some spacers in between. You can just lay them flat over each other, but that doesn't give it the optical illusion of images hovering over each other. So what I use for that technique, cover boards are sandwich boards that have cardboard on each side, and in the middle there's foam. They are available in different sizes, in depths. I have a pretty strong one here, I think it's at 6 to 7 millimeters, I don't know exactly. And I already prepared a few things. What we do here is we take an image frame. You don't need a frame, you could just do it, but we want a nice finished product. So we take an image frame, and that is an object frame. And there's one really cool one for IKEA. No advertising here, but they have a really cool cheap one from the Riva series. And that's the 20 by 23 centimeter or 9 by 9 inch frame, and that's this one here. And the frame is already lying here and already has some parts inside that we prepared. If we take these multiple layers and stack them over each other, they will get pretty dark. And if we put that on a just white backdrop, it kind of loses that purpose. So what we did is take some LEDs and put them into the frame and sticking them to each edge on the frame here around. So on each frame we have our LEDs. So after we put these LEDs into place, we cut out the copper boards. The copper boards need some cut out in the middle, and that should be the size of the image frame. So you can measure that by the black size. If you put that over here, it just covers. We also cut out some cardboard for the front that covers the rest of the image. So the images are still developing, still a little bluish, so we have to wait a little bit longer. So I take 3 images for that process, but you can take as many as you want. But just keep in mind, it always gets darker and you need some light from behind. We solve that by the LEDs. Sandwiches are cut out. It's just easy measuring, cutting. Just watch out that you have a really sharp knife to cut through the copper boards so you have nice edges. You can also clean these edges in there to be really nice, but for now we're gonna leave it like that. So let's take a look closer into our picture frame. And you can see that's actually pretty wide. So we have the picture frame, then there's the glass for the picture frame, which is sitting on top. And we already prepared our Passport 2. It is a little bit thicker cardboard, and it has 2 different colors, the cream white and the really bright white. And we're just gonna use the bright white and put our Polaroids on top here, like that, sitting in front. And we have our cover boards. And here you can see the drawings, but we don't see them, so don't worry if you draw on the cover boards, you're not gonna see your drawings or sketches that you make on them. We have 2 cover boards, but we want 3 images. One sitting on top, one in between, and one in the back. And these sit on these little stripes here. In the edges you can see the things, and these are sitting on top here. We have the 4 stripes here, and we need some adhesive tape. So this is double-sided adhesive tape. You can get that at Art Supplies because it's acid-free, and you should really watch out to use acid-free tape for that purpose, because we don't want to have images that are getting messed up by the chemistry in your glue. We can already prepare our little bases here and put the double-sided tape on them. So let's take a look at our images. Oh, they are finally developed. Still a little bit of bluish tone with these 3 images. And we're gonna stack them over each other. So as you can see on the frame, we have a lot of white around her, and that's perfect for the transparencies because it will just shine through and we'll see the left and right angle of the face. So to start off with our transparency, we take the image, like as we see in the other video, take our knife, put it on the edge, and just slowly cut over the edge here. Cut off one side, put it aside so it doesn't fall on a frame. Take the second edge, cut it open, put that away. Go with your knife in between front and back, cut cut through, cut these two lashes on the left and right, and then we need both our hands to slowly separate front and back. And see that we don't have chemistry strings sticking to our front. We really slowly separate these both layers. Take your time doing that process, don't rush it. Just slowly separate these both layers, get a really clean transparent. At the end it gets a little bit sticky and stiff, so don't rush it there. Just take the time, separate both layers. Okay, we didn't manage to get a perfect one, but it's nearly perfect. That one little spot on top here, we're gonna cut off the back, and we can throw away the back. That's our first transparency here. It's really cool. So we can take our first cover board, put it here, take the image, take some double-sided adhesive tape, cut off some small stripes, put them onto the edges of your picture frame. Don't make the stripes too big once. You can also do that with glue, but I recommend tape because you have better control over it. And the third stripe goes on the bottom of the frame where the chemistry pots were. Do a little bigger one so it has a nice little stick to it. You can already see, it's pretty cool. But it darkens the background a lot as it's only one image. So now we're going to separate both other images, so we have finished with the transparencies. So now we have our three images. If we layer them over each other, you can already see. But it's also hard to see something. So we're going to stick them to our cover boards and continue with the process. Don't put them facing down, because then they would stick still there because they're wet. So our first image, and we're going to put our tape layers. Then we really need to watch out to align the frame good as possible. So the first image comes onto the Passepartout because we want to have that Polaroid frame. That's our first image on the Passepartout. Then we're going to take the cover board, and now we don't need to worry too much. So since we're not going to see these layers at all now, we can just take some clear adhesive tape. That's also mounting tape, and we're going to stick the images to our cover boards. Watch out that everything fits. Take your stripes, one on the top and one on the bottom. Take a look to ensure it's in place. It works. Second one on the bottom. Make sure to position your image right to the frame so you don't have any frames looking out of that cover board. And then you can stick it down. Second image is ready. Now we need the third one. So this one will be our top bottom. And we take our three little spacers that we have that are way too big, so we can cut them in half. So we only need two of them. So we're going to stick them on this side of the tape. You're going to have some space because there's the wires of the LED below. Shouldn't make any shadows. Nice and tight. Okay, perfect. So now you can see we have a white cardboard. We see on the back. We're going to put our cover board on top. The spacers. This is how it looks from below. There are wires in place, put everything in place. See that the cable is coming out, top and bottom. We take the second image on top, and we take the third image. The third image comes over the object holder, and then we have our glass plate which comes over everything. So this is how our image would look now. Pretty hard to distinguish anything. So we're going to close down our frame now and see how it looks with the LEDs. I know I messed up a little with the cover board. I unintentionally forgot the direction. I cut it. I think it's pretty hard to see with the camera, but with the eye it looks really cool. So you have like three images that you can focus on, and it looks kind of amazing because you have to look through, see the different faces and everything, and it's like really awesome. We have our final image. It looks amazing, I love it, and you can see it's multi-layer Polaroid transparency. You can do a lot with the process. Don't be limited to 1 or 2 layers, 3 layers. You can do multiple layers, and you don't need fancy cover board or Passepartout boards or some stuff like that. Just use what you have: cardboard, cut it out, put it on frame, and yeah, I would suggest putting some LEDs or some light behind to make it like hallucinate, like to give it more light in the back, so you can see more. And I love that dimensional work. Like if you have some space in between the images, it gives it a really nice look. You can also use objects that are floating around, for example. You don't need to take portraits. Keep your mind free, and try whatever you want. Yeah, I think that's it. I hope you liked the video. If you did, thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. If you want to see more content, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!